Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Jennifer from Auburn Yoga and Pilates, and tonight we're going to be doing a combination Pilates and yoga class. If you have an Overball, then grab one. If you don't have an Overball, sometimes one of those little squishy little kids balls will work as a substitute. Or you can do this without it. You definitely do not need a prop. Okay, so we'll get started. All right, so we're gonna start in a seated position with the ball pretty much wedged at your low back. So, sitting with those feet flat and placing that ball right at the back of the hip, sort of wedged in there. Take those arms out in front of you and scoop back. So you want to exhale on your scoop and you want to bring your abdominals back towards your spine. If you've never used an Overball, you might want to consider investing in them. They're not a high-priced item. They're under $20. We sell them at the studio. You could contact me, or I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. But if you have difficulty with Pilates because sometimes it's a little too much on the low back, it's a really great tool to help alleviate that lower back discomfort. This time I'm going to have the arms back, if you get it. But it's still very effective even if you're advanced. You still get a lot of sensation. You're not going to miss out on sensation because of the ball. That's for sure. So as your arms come back, you're trying to keep your torso still. If it's too much to bring your arms all the way back, then don't. Now next time, take the arms out to the side. Take them out and in. Take them out. So as you're moving those arms away from the midline of the body, it should be a challenge. So it should definitely feel like an increase in difficulty when those arms come out to the side. Last one. Now this time we're going to take that right arm, I'm going to do my left just because of the way that I'm facing, and we're going to basically imagine that we're brushing leaves away. So we're going to take that arm back, sweep it, and come up. So now we're adding rotation into this movement. So rotate as much as you can as you're still scooping back, engaging those abdominals. And now switching sides. So of course you can be doing these without the ball, holding it up. Now taking that ball and placing it in between your inner thighs, just over your knees, and then scooting back on that neck. Now trying to walk those heels in so that your heels land just under your knees. And then starting off with your arms by your side, feet are parallel, hip distance apart. Lift those hips. Hold those hips up, pulse. Pulse those legs in. Squeeze 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to down and up. If you'd like, reach those arms up. Just ever so slightly more challenging with those arms up. You don't have those arms to add to your base. Obviously, a wider base always makes this movement a little easier. And hold it up, pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, pulse it in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping it down. Now this is going to test. I had to do a homemade plug because I couldn't find the plug for this ball. So I looked it up on YouTube. Seems to have worked, but we're going to find out momentarily. Putting your feet on that ball. So any unstable surface will work. If you don't have an unstable surface, just do them on the floor. From here, we're going to come up. Now, the heels are going to come in toward the hips. In, out, and down. It's a micro movement. Come up, in, out. So you barely see anything happen. Come up, in, out. But you should feel something happening. Up, in, out. In, out. You should really feel this in your hamstrings. And now, same thing, except we're going to pulse it for 3. So coming up, pulse in. 3, 2, 1. And again, coming up. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Dropping it down. Now, taking that ball and placing it under your hips. So again, if you have a roller or a small ball, anything kind of squishy and unstable, even a pool noodle would work. Otherwise, just the floor. So, legs come up and coming into a single leg, straight leg stretch. So, pulse, 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 pulse. You're trying to stay relatively still on the ball. You're trying to get your legs as straight as possible. And now changing it, single, single, semicircle. So single, single, semicircle. Again. Hold both legs up. Now, coming into leg drops. So bringing those legs together, bringing those inner thighs right toward each other, and again, trying to stay as stable as possible on this little ball, leg drops. Now, you may drop them lower than I'm dropping them tonight. You want to drop them as low as you can, while maintaining the integrity of your spine. So if you start to move into banana back, then you're going too low. And adding on. We're going to drop them, we're going to hold them at that diagonal. Now from here, do not move your thigh bones. Keep them still. Don't let them move up or down. Hinge, extend, lengthen. So, if those thigh bones go all flopsy and they start moving, you're not going to feel as much sensation as you will if you keep those thigh bones still. And we only have 4 more. Last one. And taking it down. Now, lifting your hips up, taking that ball out, and placing that ball between your ankles. So you can squeeze into anything if you do not have a ball. In addition to squeezing those legs toward the midline, you want to try to keep the back of the rib cage down for now. We're going to come into roll-ups. We're going to inhale to prepare, and then exhale, rolling up, and slowly coming back down. So again, inhale to prepare. The second one's always easier. And coming up, it's like your body knows what to expect. And coming down. Coming up. And we'll say one more like this, but you may choose to keep going. Now, I never know how this is going to come out when it's live, but it is what it is. One thing you can do, if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, is you can put the ball under your legs. So having an unstable surface should make it a little more challenging. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, come up. So not a huge difference, but a difference. You should say it's a notable difference. Three more. Last one. And when you're up here, grabbing hold of that ball and then coming down with the ball. Now, taking those legs in, modified, you're going to keep your head and your shoulders down. More advanced, you're going to lift them up. Coming into a single leg stretch. A little variety on it. Now my legs are in a different shape than they normally be because I'm passing the overball from side to side. Last one. And coming down, rolling over to your side, lifting yourself up. out wide. You want your feet wider than your hips. Sitting up nice and tall, and you don't really need the overball here, but just to prevent it from rolling away, I'm going to use it. Sitting nice and tall. Twist, saw, twist, saw. So sort of passing that ball, still pressing that free arm back as you press the front arm forward as though you were going to saw off that pinky toe. That's the direction that you're moving in. So, on a total random side note, if you lose the plug to your stability ball or your overball, their trick seems to have worked. You basically take duct tape, you place the sticky side out, you make a roll, and then you shove it in the hole like a plug. Last one. And then taking your feet slightly closer together, but still, you want them at least hip distance, maybe a little bit further. Now, you want to start with a very long and tall spine. Your hands are on that ball. We're going to come into a variation of the spine stretch. So from here, you're going to really scoop. Try to exaggerate as much as you can. Reach those arms forward. Zip back up straight and tall. So feel free to keep going. I'll just do a little side view so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm starting off really, really straight, and as I roll that ball and press my fingertips forward and down slightly, I'm coming into a very rounded position, and then I'm using my abdominals to once again extend the spine. So scoop and lift, and scoop and lift. 4 more. 4, 3, pull those abdominals back toward the spine. And holding it up, nice and tall. Now coming into, I think I'll stay here on second thought, a variation of the spine stretch. So from here, you basically start with a vertical spine. You're going to scoop. Now you're going to lengthen at a diagonal. So you're slightly hinged forward. The back is straight, but it's not vertical. Now reach those arms back. 3, 2, 1. Come back, scoop, and lift. So it's scoop, diagonal, 3, 2, 1, scoop, come up. Scoop, diagonal, 3, 2, 1, scoop, come up. Scoop, diagonal, 3, 2, 1, scoop, come up. 4 more. Scoop, diagonal, 4, 3, 2, 1, scoop, come up again. Scoop, diagonal, 3, 2, 1, and last one. 3, 2, 1, come up. Okay, we'll do one more before we proceed to go into the yoga portion. So it's going to be very similar to what we did, except we're going to add some rotation. So from here, holding that ball, or really you could hold, anything light, a pillow or a block or anything here, in between your hands, just reminding you to keep that energy going through those arms. Now, scoop, lengthen, reach up, rotate, center, rotate, center, scoop, and come up. So again, scoop, lengthen, rotate, rotate, scoop, come up. Scoop, lengthen, twist, twist, scoop, come up. Keep going. Scoop, lengthen, rotate, rotate, scoop, come up. Again. Scoop, lengthen, twist, twist, scoop, come up. Two more. Scoop, lengthen, twist, twist, scoop, come up. Last time. Scoop, lengthen, twist, twist, scoop, come up. Okay, so now transitioning into the yoga portion. We've been going just about 22 minutes so far. So about halfway there. So we'll circle that spine, just coming into an easy seated position. If you do not feel comfortable sitting directly on the floor, then feel free to sit on a blanket or a pillow. And reverse direction. And holding it in the center and moving from side to side. Nice long arm, trying to bring that arm by the ear if you can. Just lengthening that side body. It should be a nice soothing movement after all those spine stretch variations that we just did in the Pilates portion. And now hold it to one side. Gently wrap that arm around the head. Fingertips cradling but not pulling on the skull. And rotate. Drop that elbow to the front. Last one. Extend the arms, sweep it, switch sides. So you decide how far over you want to go into that stretch. And again, coming forward and up. Last one, hold it up, extend that arm, reach it down, come into an all fours position. So pad your knees if you have sensitive knees. Align those wrist creases so that they're parallel to the short end of the mat, keeping those shoulders in a stable position. Allow your pelvis to tip forward and your heart center to press forward, and then switch direction. Moving between cat and cow. And then dropping those hips back toward those heels, stretching those arms out. Coming forward, modified, you can walk your hands forward for a puppy dog, or you can curl those toes under. You can lift those knees and hips and press back to down dog. Bend the knees if necessary. Try to prioritize lengthening the spine. Your arms are parallel to each other. Your ankles are hip joint distance apart. Dropping down into an all fours position and stepping that right foot forward. If it's difficult for you to get enough space to step that right foot forward, you can always use blocks or some sort of comparable prop to step that right leg forward. You want your front knee over your front ankle, and then coming up, reaching those arms up, stretching the front of the hip. Exhale, sweeping those arms down either to the floor or to your blocks. Curl your back toe under, lengthen your back leg, and drop that back foot so that your front heel aligns to your back arch. Now, ideally, you'd have a 90-degree angle at that front knee. I find sometimes that's a bit too deep for me. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. I'm going to slide the right leg up the arm regardless. So get as close to 90 degrees as you can, but recognize that that thigh bone may not end up perfectly horizontal to the floor. If you want to modify, shorten your stance, it'll be much easier. If you want to make it more challenging, strive for 90 degrees. Reach that arm up. Really lifting the ribs, lifting the arm, lengthening the arm. Now, internally rotate the arm so the palm is facing the wall closest to your head. Then take the arm, stretch a really super long line from the ankle of your extended leg all the way to the wrist of your extended arm. So coming into a modified side ankle pose. Exhale, sweep that arm around, pivot back into a lunge, drop that knee, come back into an all fours position. This time, step that left foot forward, coming into that knee down lunge position. And then sweeping those arms up on this side. So again, feel free to drop through the hips until you feel lengthening in your quad and your hip flexor. Exhale, sweep those arms down. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee for a lunge. Pivot the back foot so that there is a heel to arch alignment. Get as close to 90 degrees as you comfortably can. And then walk that left arm up the leg so it rests over the knee. Reach the arm up, side angle. So again, shorten the stance if you need to. You want to try to create a nice long diagonal line from your ankle to your shoulder. And then internally rotate that arm and bring it by your ear. Now, if you're sacrificing form because of this variation of the arm, then you don't want to do it. You want to make sure you can keep your rib cage squared to the wall in front of you and that your shoulder doesn't drop down in front. Side angle is a lateral stretch. And sweep that arm around, pivot back into a lunge, drop that knee, step back, slide the right foot forward again. And this time, taking it back for a hamstring stretch. So sliding that front foot forward, flexing your front foot, pulling your pinky toes back, and moving that pinky toe in the direction of your belly button. And then coming back to a knee down lunge. Now, from here, you can go into that same modified side angle that we were in, curling that toe under and lining up your front heel to your back arch. Your back foot is angled. More advanced. I find that most people cannot keep the proper form if they put their hand on the floor, that a book or a block usually ends up to be helpful. You can decide the orientation that you choose, but placing that hand right in front of that leg, right in front of that ankle, the arm presses into the leg presses into the arm, reaching that arm up for a true side angle pose. So this is more challenging. Feel free to go back to that modified side angle. Spin that palm toward the ear, reach that arm towards your ear. And sweep that arm to the back, pivot back to the lunge, drop the knee, slide that leg back, and stepping that left foot forward. So once again, coming into that hamstring stretch. So walking that front foot forward, pulling those toes back. Now this is one, if you have flexible hamstrings, you'll be able to put your hands on the floor rather easily. If you have tight hamstrings, you're probably going to want something that's going to allow you to be a little higher up. And then once again, bending that front leg, coming into that lunge position. Heel to arch alignment. And then, modified, you can walk your arm up your leg, or you can use some sort of prop to add some height. And getting that thigh bone as close to 90 degrees as you can, coming into that side angle pose. Now modified, you're just going to stay here. This is easier than bringing the arm by the ear. That intensifies the pose. So you may or may not want to do it. Reach that arm. If you do reach that arm, see if you can keep the length. See if you can bring the arm relatively close to the ear. And sweep that arm back, dropping it down, pivoting back to a lunge, sliding that leg back, and coming into a seated position. So you'll find the thing with these combo classes is that time really flies because we spend 20 minutes or so in each section, the Pilates and the yoga, and then of course this final relaxation. So from here, sitting up nice and tall with the feet wider than the hips, try to keep the verticality in your spine as you twist to the right. Let's see, I'll remember to mirror you this time, so I will twist to my left, your right. Try not to slouch. It is so tempting to slouch, but keep lifting up through the top of that head. Now, in theory, your rib cage and your left thigh bone should be pretty much on the same plane. So that if you take the back arm, reach it up, lift it by the ear, and come into a lateral stretch, you're in a very similar, to some degree, position that we would just in a right angle. Your rib cage is aligned, but that's fine. And coming up, bringing it back to the center and trying the same thing on the other side. So we're going to twist to the left. First, you can use that back hand and that front hand to help encourage you a little more deeply into the twist. And then take the back arm, reach it up and reach it over, trying to keep your ribs on the same plane as your right thigh. Coming back up to center and walking your hands forward. So you may walk them forward a little, you may walk them forward a lot. Keep your knees pointing upward. Coming up and bringing the bottom of your feet together and trying to find a stretch through the hips and thighs. Even though we didn't do a hip and thigh focused Pilates class tonight, hopefully it still feels nice. Back body stretch too. And coming up, and then coming back into a supine position. So bending those legs and planting those feet. And then taking those feet out toward the edges of the mat. Letting the arms come by your side into goalposts or straight out to the side. And just windshield wiper those legs. Relax your back. Relax your hips. bringing it back to the center, walking those feet in and bringing those knees into your chest, and just rocking from side to side in whatever soothing motion feels appropriate. Sometimes it's little, sometimes it's big. And then letting those knees go wide. You can grab both feet by the outside of the foot, or if that's too strong, to come into this position here, getting those shins vertical, you can do one leg at a time. So either a happy baby or a half happy baby. And if you're in half happy baby, you may want to consider switching sides. And then bringing that leg down, bringing those feet together, letting those knees fall out to the side. Taking those arms by your side in external rotation. So that means your palms are upward facing, and hopefully it really allows you to release the entire front body. And then bringing those knees back to center, feet flat to the floor, and then extending those legs for final relaxation. You may want to place a folded blanket or a pillow under your knees or your feet. Allow yourself the opportunity to release those muscles, large and small. And then reconnecting or recharging. And then when you're ready, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Of course, you can always stay here longer if you'd like. Eventually bending your legs, planting your feet, and then rolling over to one side and coming up into a nice, easy seated position. Locating those sits bones and sitting up nice and tall. And then inhaling, sweeping those arms up. Exhaling, taking those hands to heart center. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste. Thanks for joining us. As I always say, please leave a comment. Please share if you know that someone would like this, as we're doing these free classes during this difficult time. And if you'd be willing to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's Auburn Yoga and Pilates. If we get enough subscribers, we will be able to do live broadcasts from YouTube too. So trying to build our subscriber base a little bit there. Thanks very much. I hope you're all well, and we should be back again tomorrow with another yoga class. So take care.